Superior Court of the State of Texas, continue for then the Honorable Judge Green proceeding.
Thank you. You may be seated. The court is now in session. We will now hear case 1337. The court will hear now the case Texas versus Goat. Is the proceeding ready? Prosecution ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is the defendant ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
We will now hear opening statements from the prosecution.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, my name is Brittany Taylor, and this is my co-counselor. We represent the state of Texas. Today we present the case where the defendant took the role of vigilante and committed murder. The defendant opened the stomach of Mr. Wolf in order to take her children out, but in taking revenge, the defendant put rocks inside the stomach, causing the victim to drown in the Cat River. We will prove the crime, and Your Honor, this is why we ask for the verdict of guilty.
Thank you, counsel. Would the defense want to give the opening now, or would they like to defer until the prosecutor rests their case?
We would like to give our opening state now, Your Honor. Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the court, my name is Alex Rivera, and today I'm representing the defendant, Mrs. Goat. The defendant has been accused of taking the law into her own hands and committing murder, when in reality she was saving her children and ensuring that Mr. Wolf would not come back for them by putting some weight on him. The consequence was drowning caused by the wolf's irresponsible actions and not the defendant's responsibility. Your Honor, we ask for the verdict of not guilty.
Thank you, counsel. Prosecution, please call the first witness.
Yes, Your Honor. The prosecution would like to call the child of Mrs. Goat to the stand.
Kid, please take the stand.
Keith, raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing else but the truth? So help you God.
I swear. You may be seated.
Kid, please introduce yourself.
My name is Kid, and I was a witness of the action performed that day.
Could you tell us more about what you were doing the day the crime was committed?
Well, I was just home and doing my daily routine. My mom went outside for some groceries, and Mr. Wolf trickled into our house. All of my brothers and sisters, he ate all my brothers and sisters, and the rest, and left me because I was hiding. Then my mom, she cut the belly of the wolf and took my siblings and replaced my siblings with rocks and then threw him into the river.
Pass the witness.
Thank you, counsel. Would the defense like to cross?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Kid, was the murder made consciously?
No, it wasn't.
So the purpose of the rocks was purely to incite a sick feeling on the wolf?
Absolutely.
Pass the witness.
Thank you, counsel. Would the prosecutor like to redirect?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may begin.
Right. Thank you, Your Honor. Kid, when you and your mother saw the wolf drowning, did you attempt to aid?
No, I did not.
Pass the witness.
Would the defense like to recross?
No, Your Honor.
Kid, you may sit down. Does the prosecution have any more witnesses to call?
No, Your Honor. The prosecution rests.
Thank you, counsel. Would defense please call their first witness?
Thank you, Your Honor. The defense calls Mr. Al Miller up to the stand.
Hey.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth and only the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You may be seated.
Your Honor, may I begin to question the witness?
You may.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Miller, please state your name for the benefit of the court.
My name is Al Miller. I'm a witness for the Senate Council today.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. Where were you the day the murder was committed?
I was running my shop that day in town.
Did you see Mr. Wolf that day?
Yes. In fact, he approached me with the intentions of deceiving someone. He asked me to put flour on his feet and turn them white, and then when I refused, he threatened me, so I obliged.
Pass the witness.
Thank you, counsel. Is the prosecution ready to cross?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Miller, can you be sure that the Wolf's intentions were to deceive someone?
I cannot, but I do not see any other reason why the wolf would want to paint his feet white.
Did you perform any attempt to contact the authorities when you knew the wolf was going to hurt someone?
No.
Pass the witness.
Thank you, counsel. Would the defense like to redirect?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Miller, when the wolf walked into your store, did you attempt to stop him?
Yes, I did.
And just to restate, he threatened you. Is that correct?
Yes, he threatened to kill me.
Did you believe the wolf was planning to hurt somebody else?
I was sure of it.
Pass the witness.
Would the prosecution like to recross?
Briefly, Your Honor.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Miller, how can you be sure of the wolf's intentions?
Well, I'm not sure. I guess because it is, in fact, Mr. Wolf. He's known for his lack of good community interaction.
Pass the witness.
Thank you, counsel. Mr. Miller, you may sit down. Does the defense have any more witnesses to call?
No, Your Honor. The defense will rest the case.
Thank you. We will now hear closing statements on behalf of the state.
Your Honor, today we have provided all proof necessary. Mr. Wolf might have attempted an attack on Mrs. Goat and her family, but Mrs. Goat took illegal measures of vigilante and murder. Your Honor, we ask for the verdict of guilty.
Thank you, counsel. Would you like to save any time for a rebuttal?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Defense, you may give your closing statement.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, as our witness clearly stated, Mr. Wolf meant harm to Mrs. Goat family. He kidnapped 6 of the children and attempted murder. Mrs. Goat was simply applying personal defense once she saved her children. We ask for the verdict of not guilty. Thank you.
Thank you, counsel.
All rise. The court will be in recess for deliberation. All rise. 105 District Court is now in session. Honorable Judge Green presiding.
You may be seated. In case 1337 of the state of Texas versus Mrs. Goat, I find Miss Goat guilty of vigilante actions and consequential murder.